The Battle Lions have been drawn in Paris, with the Springboks and England set to fight it out for a place in the Rugby World Cup final. South Africa have the historical advantage over their opponents. The Boks have won 27 of the 45 matches between the two, most recently beating England at Twickenham in late 2020. For more, we're joined live by our reporters Percival Young and Justin Ford, who are in Paris to chat with us now. Very good afternoon to you, Percy. I'm going to start with you. We spoke a little bit early on, and it was still kind of empty in the streets, a little less jovial than we would have wanted. But how are things looking now in Paris?
Yes, good afternoon once again, Nandi. From a rather cold and a rather windy Paris here. We're in a small town called Saint-Denis, obviously, where the iconic Stade de France stadium is. The last minute preparations being done here ahead of that big clash tonight. Obviously, last night we had that first semi-final clash between New Zealand and Argentina, and we all know how that match ended. It was a fairly one-sided affair. New Zealand scoring 7 tries to none against an Argentinian side. I'm not sure if Argentina arrived at the match, but it was a dominating performance by the 3-time world champions New Zealand. Ian Foster's side holding nothing back and dismantling the men from South America. The focus now shifts to tonight's clash. It's the defending champions versus England, as two sides that know each other very well. They've met each other since 2019, probably 2 times where the Springboks beat them. But Rassie Erasmus, Jacques Nienaber and even Siya Kolisi were very careful and very clear that they won't be underestimating the opponents this tonight here, the match that starts at 9 tonight, because they know what this England side can do. Steve Borthwick, on the other hand side, said that over the past 4 years, a lot has happened in his side. He has become the new coach, taking over the reins from Eddie Jones, who's now in charge of the Wallabies. Well, he's not having a good time at the moment. But Steve Borthwick said he's brought in some new energy, some young players into his squad, and he believes they've got the right recipe to stand up and face off against this might of the Springboks and put up a brave fight tonight and hopefully advance to the final. Nandi?
Percy, speaking about the English side, a lot of the talk has been about revenge, getting revenge for that loss over the Springboks in 2019 that saw South Africa lift the Webb Ellis Trophy. In the England camp, has there been any talk about that revenge, or are they kind of playing mind games at the moment?
Well, that's a term that Rassie Erasmus used early in the week. In fact, Nandi, Rassie spoke to us twice this week in the build-up, and he himself, the director of South African rugby, is a man who knows how to choose his words, and he was the man who started the mind games like you mentioned. Rassie, early in the week, he even came to a press briefing mentioning the England side even before Steve Borthwick had a time to mention his own squad. Rassie Erasmus even went as far as saying that this England side will have a bone to pick with the Springboks, especially after what happened in 2019 in Japan. And he believes if they're not up for the task, this England side can hurt them tonight. And therefore, Rassie Erasmus said they had to prepare well. They had the fit players. They opted for an unchanged side, the very same side who managed to beat France here at the very same stadium. It's the very same side that will run out tonight and hopefully get one over England yet again. It's going to be a tough encounter. It's 2 massive nations facing off here tonight. But they have to get over the hurdle before they can think of a place in the final. It's the Springboks versus an England side tonight. It's a bit of a rematch here, a World Cup rematch between the 2 nations. It's going to be interesting to see who comes out tops. We as South Africans, we are hoping that the Springboks will come out tops. But if you ask internally what they think, they know they'll have to be on top of the game if they want to beat this England side.
Percy, we are out of time, so I'm going to need you to keep this one very, very brief. You mentioned rain and chances of rain a little bit earlier on. How are the conditions looking now?
Well, we're expecting rain for the biggest part of the day, and it's interesting to know what the impact will have on the 2 sides, especially the kickers. But if you ask both sides, they said they had to prepare well for all kinds of conditions. They know what it's like playing in rain and windy conditions. The stadium is fairly closed off. It won't have a big impact. Owen Farrell said he's prepared for what comes their way. Mani Lebok knows how to prepare, and Andre Pollard is an experienced campaigner. They'll have to play whatever comes their way tonight, Nandi.
All right, we're going to leave it there, Percy. Hopefully, we will be able to chat with Justin Ford as well a little bit later on. That is eNCA reporter Percival Young joining us live from Paris ahead of the Springboks' titanic clash against 2003 champions England.